All right, guys. Today we're going to talk about your current or most recent training overriding any previous training you have. Now, this came up because a student at a class asked, should I stop listening to XYZ instructor because Bondi from Regular Guy, class we were at, said to do it this way, or he taught it this way. Now, he didn't tell the student not to do it the way the other instructor had taught, but he took it that because this instructor told him to do it this way. I think we were talking about cover and how to use cover, how to approach that problem, because this is all a bunch of problem solving at the end of the day. And in his mind, he was thinking, okay, Bondi says do it this way, that way's wrong. And the answer to his question, in particular him, was no. But to that question in general, maybe. It all depends on who you're talking about. So, and also why they taught what they taught. We're going to get to that in a second. So let's say this is a reputable instructor, right? If anybody's not reputable or they teach something that's goofy, something doesn't make sense, you can weed through that eventually. If you take enough training to know what's what, you can throw that out. Say, this is not applicable, this is dumb, I don't need it, I don't want it. And say it's not even wrong, because it very well could be right in like this sliver of reality, but for you it doesn't make sense, so you're going to throw it out anyway. However, let's say this is a good, reputable instructor, he's got a good background, and that's the big key to this, the background and the experience they got from the background they have, from the job they used to do or still currently do. So let's say he's a mill guy, right? We got to ask yourself, what was his job in the military? Where was he at? Where did he do his job? You know, what country, what area of a country, in this country, out of this country? What branch of the military were they in? What time period were they in the military? All those factors play into why they may tell you or teach you how to do this technique in this way, how to approach that problem. Let's say it's a cop, SWAT, private security, anybody else. They all have different backgrounds. They come from different places. They've had different things happen to them. That has shaped the way they view these problems and how they're going to teach you to solve them. That's all this is. So don't let your most recent training, your most expensive class, don't let any one of those instances override everything else you've learned, because you started probably with the basics, with the foundation. That doesn't change a whole lot once you've got that cemented in place. But then you realize, this is me, this is my life, this is the reality of what I'm probably going to have to do should I ever have to do any of this in the first place. So take all that into consideration and then look at what you know. Look in your toolbox, if you will, and say, this technique applies to me the best because I'm in the situation that would dictate this to be used, right? Simpler put, in a more simple way, I am this guy. This is the problem I'm most likely to face. Which of these solves that problem best? That's all it is. Then, once you've got that taken care of, go a step below that. What's the second most likely? Or two or three, depending on if they're equally likely. What are the next tier, next level of solutions to this problem that are going to work for me? Let's say you don't travel a lot for your day-to-day life, even month to month. But 2, 3, 4, 5 times a year, you take trips out of state, multiple states away, across the country, whatever, doesn't matter. You do this relatively frequently compared to most people, but it's not your day-to-day life. Then these other levels, the level below, the other skills in that, then they apply, and then they make sense, and then they are the right answer to this problem, to this question. So, keeping all that in mind, don't throw out what you already know just because someone new to you says to do it a different way. That's all I'm saying. With that being said, guys, take care, stay safe, and as always, sharpen your skills.